Shane Van Gisbergen puts on a really good show at Circuit of the Americas. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. As I just said a second ago, Shane Van Gisbergen put on a very, very good show at Circuit of the Americas. In my opinion, SVG 100% had probably, if not the fastest car, one of the 2 or 3 fastest cars in this race. At times, AJ Allmendinger was definitely quicker, but at the end of the race, Shane Van Gisbergen got the race lead. He led the first 10 laps of the event, then faded a little bit, but he was doing a lot of switchbacks and was doing a lot of great moves. It was doing some pretty impressive stuff that he kind of did at Chicago. And he was on the way to picking up the victory. And it looked like he was easily going to go to victory lane with about 5 laps to go. However, with 4 laps to go in the race, Ed Jones gets turned by Kyle Weatherman and breaks something in the car, and fluid comes out of the racetrack, bringing out the caution. They go in overtime. SVG gets a good restart and clears Austin Hill and AJ Allmendinger. But then another caution comes out because of stupidity in the middle to the back of the pack. And because of that, they have another final restart, and Shane Van Gisbergen loses the lead because Austin Hill sends him up the racetrack, and Kyle Larson also gets up there and is up there battling for the win as well because he has fresh tires and is in position to go for the win. SVG was closing in. Austin Hill got to the back bumper, and they came into turn number 15, and Shane Van Gisbergen goes to the inside trying to pass Austin Hill and actually gets in the back of him, and Kyle Larson scoots through and get the win. Now, Shane Van Gisbergen actually crossed the line and finished second in this race. But he got a 30-second time penalty because he cut the final corner on the last lap of the race. And instead of finishing in the runner-up position in second place, he is credited with a 27th place finish because of the penalty he received. First of all, we'll go in and get into the rant here in just a second. Actually, let's get into the rant right now. Shane Van Gisbergen got absolutely robbed. He had the car to beat, and he should have won this race 1,000%. But because of the fact that NASCAR had terrible calls with their officiating, with the track limits and their track limit rules, and it's not just Shane Van Gisbergen who got affected by the track limit rules. Sam Mayer got affected in this race. We saw this also in the Truck Series race as well. AJ Allmendinger got affected by these track limit rules. Ty Gibbs got affected in this race. I think 10 or 15 drivers got affected by it. Look, I'd understand if he got a 5-second penalty. That would be fair, because he still would have gotten a really, really good finish. But you give him a 30-second time penalty for cutting a corner? Are you kidding me? How do you give him a 30-second time penalty? When you robbed him of a win, you got him in position, he had the best car all day, and you give him a 30-second time penalty. That is ridiculous, NASCAR. And I'm so sick and tired of NASCAR's officiating process. For some reason, they were only officiating the S's on the racetrack. They weren't officiating any other part of the racetrack. No, sir, no people. No, they were only officiating the S's on the racetrack. And if you went a little bit off and you went into the green and you made a mistake, you were getting a penalty by having a pass-through. Either have the tire barriers up there so drivers avoid going into that area, or don't have tire rules at all. Or if you're going to have track limits in this race, do it all the way around the racetrack. You can't just have one area where you officiate track limits and then you don't officiate the other areas of the racetrack. It doesn't make any sense. And SCG went from having a fantastic race and had the car to beat to finishing 27 because NASCAR's stupid rules. I get that they have rules, and I understand why track limits are a thing, because you don't want these drivers driving like complete incompetent idiots all the time and driving 15 inches way off the racetrack. But come on, you're telling me that Shane Van Gisbergen got that penalty. I'm sorry, 30 seconds is harsh. 5 seconds, fair enough. Tech gets 10 seconds, maybe a little harsh, but maybe fair. If he would have gotten a 5-second time penalty, I wouldn't be complaining right now about that. 30 seconds is ridiculous, and in my opinion, track limits need to be something figured out by NASCAR, because their officiating today, not just in the Truck Series, but the Xfinity Series, was completely a joke all day long. It ruined my enjoyment of the race a little bit, because I thought the race was really fun and very, very enjoyable. But even though he got the 30-second time penalty, it doesn't take away from SVG's performance. Shane Van Gisbergen, like I said, was absolutely amazing all day long. Scored stage points, played the strategy correctly, and played the strategy right. Was up front at the end, was leading by 2 seconds, was going to win this race easily. He was pulling away from Allmendinger, 3 or 4 tenths a lap, and was going to go to victory lane, more than likely. Instead, of going to victory lane, though, he finishes 27th, or getting a runner-up finish, because at least he was going to get second. And Kyle Larson beat him at the end of the day, fair and square. He goes and finished 27th. He got beat by drivers like Hailie Deegan, who, no disrespect to Hailie Deegan was not running better than him all day long. Got beat by drivers like Brad Perez. If he would have gotten a top-tier top 3, I think that would have been fair. But man, 27th place, I don't like track limits. I understand why they're a thing. But you're telling me, like I said, he gets a 27th place finish because of track limits. 30 seconds. Now, R.C. Anderson also got a 30-second time penalty for track limits. So SVG was not the only one. But going forward with these track limit rules, there needs to be something changed. And I hope the Cup Series does a much better job officiating this tomorrow. Because SVG got completely robbed and screwed. I have not been a fan of them. I don't like them. And now Shane Van Gisbergen, instead of being credited with the top 5 finish, which he should have gotten, by the way, he's now below the cutoff line in the playoffs because of stupid rules and stupid calls. SVG seemed happy after the race, and I still think he's going to have a really good chance and opportunity to get the victory tomorrow. I know he's starting around 12th or 13th tomorrow in the Cup race, so he's got a good chance and opportunity to go out there and contend for that win and that victory. But man, I am just so disappointed for SVG. I feel terrible for him. He absolutely deserved the win today, or at least deserved a top 5 finish. Ran up front all day long and gets screwed out of a win because of stupid track limits and Austin Hill. And by the way, Austin Hill has no room to bitch at SVG. I know Austin Hill was a little frustrated at the end, but hey, you forced him up. SVG showed his emotions a little bit, but guess what? He's going for a win and battling for a win in position. He's aggressive and can sometimes be a terrorist on the racetrack. We all know this. But you know what? SVG deserved the win, or at least deserved a good finish today, and he does finish 27th, but does not take away from the impressive performance that he got a majority and most of the day. He's been impressive to start off this year. He's shown a lot of improvement throughout the season. He got a top 10 at Phoenix earlier in the year, was fast at Atlanta getting a top 3, and had a car that easily should have finished runner-up, but because of the penalty he received, he finished 27th. I'm just so disappointed for Shane Van Gisbergen that he got that 30-second time penalty. He easily should have gotten a top 5, should have finished runner-up. It's a shame he doesn't, in my opinion, get the finish he deserves, but it is what it is. Now he can just focus on going into the NASCAR Cup Series race tomorrow afternoon and going after that victory, which we'll do a video on him tomorrow, depending on how he does tomorrow in the Cup race. Disappointing for SVG to finish 27th. He had a car capable of finishing really good. I hate track limits, though. NASCAR, start enforcing track limits better because it ruined the enjoyment of this race mix. It was in a really great, and a finish that was kind of similar to the finish 2022 that Ross Chastain, AJ Allmendinger, and Alex Bowman were putting on. Disappointing, but it is what it is. So, that is going to be today's special breaking report. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me through Facebook and Instagram, and support on Patreon as well. List description below that, and comment your thoughts on this video. How do you think SVG did today, and do you think he should have gotten a 30-second penalty or not that he received? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There will be an SVG video after the Cup race tomorrow. If he doesn't go to victory lane, there'll be a Cup Series race review on the channel, and there's also going to be the starting lineup video for the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix tomorrow. Got a ton of great content dropping on the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out over the course of the next couple days. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.